New year, new you. That is a promise that many people make for themselves, but just how do you make it happen? Stacia Pierce is one of the most sought-after life coaches in the country, and now she has put all of her favorite tips and tricks into her 20-second book, Success Attraction, Notes and Quotes, and she's here to talk all about it. Stacia, good to have you with us.
Nice to be here today.
I tell you what, I read this book last night, and I started writing my own notes, just like you tell us to in the book.
So you wrote, did you write in the book?
I didn't write in the book because I didn't want to deface the book. I wrote on a little notepad next to it.
See, that's the problem. Every person that gets the book won't write in the book.
But it is. It's part journal.
Yes.
It's part how-to manual. It's part inspiration. What are the things that stop people from making the changes that they want to make in their lives?
What stops people from making the changes is really fear. Usually they're afraid that what's on the other side of the change. And so in the book, one of the things I say in the book is that change happens precisely at the second that you decide to. And so people usually are saying, you know, like for New Year's, hey, I want to, you know, lose weight, I'm going to join the gym, or hey, I'm ready for a big change. But really they're afraid of what's on the other side of that. And so that's the biggest thing when I coach clients. The biggest thing that we come back to when we really get to the nitty-gritty is fear. They say, I don't know what's going to happen if I really, you know, take this full throttle. And so they're afraid.
That really dovetails into one of my favorite notes in here, note number 5, and you say, the true definition of laziness is the unwillingness to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Why is making yourself uncomfortable so important?
Because I always say that you have to get uncomfortable to become profitable. And people just want to stay in a comfort zone. Right. They really, I mean, it's easy, of course. You know, we have routines, we have the way we go about doing things every single day. But once we get uncomfortable, everything begins to change. Matter of fact, I was talking to my assistant this morning, and I got an email from one of the girls that read the book, and I coach her, and she said, you know what, I took your advice and got uncomfortable, and I made a call. Something as simple, so small. She made a phone call that she was afraid to make, and on the other side of that phone call, she ended up getting a job. And so,
really?
Yeah, so she said, I made the call, and it was just, you know, out of the blue. She said, but I was afraid of that, but a small change. I said, I'm not going to be afraid to talk to people. I'm not going to be afraid to sell myself. She made the call and got the job.
What are some things folks at home can do right now, today, they could sit down and start doing today to change their lives, to bring success in?
The number one thing people can do is meditate. I think that's the number one thing you can do if you're going to make a life change is wake up 15 minutes in the morning and take 15 minutes just to meditate. Think about your day, visualize your outcome. One of my favorite ones, because this is what I'm getting the most feedback on, is to write yourself a check. And so write yourself, you know, we've heard stories of people who wrote $1 million checks, or they wrote a $10,000 check or whatever, and they've seen, you know, it come to pass. But in the book, I tell you to write yourself a check, something that really can happen in 30 days, post the check up on your mirror, look at it every single day, and then I tell you how to decree things in the book. And so decree that within 30 days, I'm going to have this amount of increase. And so that's one of the biggest things I've seen people do when using this book, and they're saying, oh my goodness, in 30 days, I had this increase. And so
they were able to cash that check
that
they wrote
themselves. That check, yeah.
There's a lot of that, of the decreeing in the book. There's a lot of writing down what you want. You talk about the importance of writing your own reality. How does writing down your dreams and your thoughts help you?
I believe if it's not written, it's not real. And so I'm a huge fan of just journalizing and using your journal. And so I believe that when you write things down, you crystallize it. And the part of the book, I say this is a coaching guide. And what makes it a coaching guide is that you can really write yourself through therapy. You know, so when I'm coaching clients, I'm telling them, go back home and write this down. Go back home and write this down. You'll be amazed at how many people have goals in their head, or they have an idea of, I have this passion. One day I'm going to do this business. One day I'm going to conquer this dream, but they never write it down and strategize how is it going to come to pass. And so when you write it, it becomes more real.
One of the other things you say in the book that I think is a really underrated idea is that sometimes you just have to show up.
Oh,
it's just the act of
goodness.
showing up is the most important step.
Oh my gosh, you have to show up. You just have to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to show up certain places. And so whatever industry you're in, you have to take the fear out of it and show up. Now, I've done some of that, and my goodness, in the beginning years, I showed up places I wasn't supposed to be. I mean, you know, so you show up at an event you're not invited to. And my assistant would be me, she was like, this is really odd, we're standing in this line, are we going to get in? But the connections I have today, the clients I have today, I have them because I showed up. I just took a chance and showed up. You have to show up, and then you got to show up where you're supposed to be. Sometimes your intuition is telling you, you should be at this event, or you should go to this certain, wedding maybe, or something. And sometimes we deny our intuition. We say, I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't feel like it now. But I believe that our intuition is always guiding us so that we can fulfill our life purpose. And if you feel that, I should be there, you should show up.
You should be there. You should show up. How do we hold ourselves accountable? When we're doing these things and making these plans, we know our goals. How do we hold ourselves to those?
Two things that can happen to hold yourself accountable. One is I believe you should get a purpose partner. I tell people to find somebody who will celebrate you. Somebody who can be a partner with you, and then you tell them, you speak it, you say it out loud, this is what I want to do, and then say, hey, check back on me in a week and see if I did it. And that's where coaching comes in. And so that's what people get a coach for, because a coach, not only do they help you with life changes and transition, but the biggest part of coaching is accountability. People could achieve so much more in life if they had accountability. That's the missing ingredient to their life success.
Stacia, thank you so much. Such good information.
Thank you.
In the book. Folks, pick up a copy of this book, Success Attraction, Notes and Quotes, and it's okay to write in it.
Oh, yeah, write in it.
It's okay to write in it. Please do.